What?
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today we've got a wild lineup of clips ranging from duende sightings to never-before-seen footage of cryptids that will blow your mind. Ready? Well, let's dive right in. If the Dogman is your favorite cryptid, then you might find our first clip of the day rather interesting. Take a look.
Aí, pessoal, suposto lobisomem aqui de Petrolina, ó, no caminho de Pedrinha. Tá vendo aí? Muitas pessoas dizem que é lenda, que não existe. Tô mostrando aí pra vocês aí, que é a pura verdade, ó.
É, olha as patas como é diferente aqui.
If what you are seeing is confusing you, then you're not alone. When I saw this the first time, I wondered what I was looking at. Sure, I could see that it was a creature that had been knocked down by a vehicle of some sort, but what exactly is the creature that I was looking at? Well, that was the mystery, and I didn't have to wait long to be told it was allegedly a dogman that had been knocked down on the road. While it does look dead, a part of me feels like it was never alive at all. It looks like a doll or a costume that has been deliberately left out to create the impression of a dogman. I mean, I could be wrong, and Julius, our resident science whiz's skepticism could be rubbing off on me, but then again, what do you guys think? You've seen the clip as well.
Aí, pessoal, suposto lobisomem aqui de Petrolina, ó, no caminho de Pedrinha. Tá vendo aí? Muitas pessoas dizem que é lenda, que não existe. Tô mostrando aí pra vocês aí, que é a pura verdade, ó.
É, olha as patas como é diferente aqui.
While you try to determine the authenticity of that video, take a look at this particular one that was recorded by an individual looking into an abandoned home.
Aonde, mano? Ai, meu Deus, olha ele lá, cara.
Did you catch that? Not normal, right? First off, you don't expect to see anything when you look into an abandoned property. Secondly, should you see anything or anyone, you don't expect them to look like this unless it's a circus or some horror movie, which this is not, right? The individuals who recorded this stated that they started recording because they felt something weird was going on. It took a few seconds of recording to capture what you see on your screen. Some think it's a paranormal entity, whereas others think it's a ghost. What do you also think?
Aonde, mano? Ai, meu Deus, olha ele lá, cara.
Do you love snow? I know I do. But what do you do when it only snows in one spot within your neighborhood? Does my question confuse you? Watch this.
This happened at an unknown location, but if you look at it, it's only snowing in one place. Only over this one tree. If you look around, everything else is green.
Would you believe me if I told you that the tree with the snow substances on it stands in the only spot in the entire area that receives now when it snows? Sounds like fiction, right? The only thing is that it's not. This is actually real. I know I can ask Julius, but thought it would be better to hear from you. What do you guys think is going on here? Is there a scientific explanation for this phenomenon? Let us know in the comments section. And by us, I mean Aaron, our resident conspiracy theorist, and myself. We're trying to avoid going to Julius. We look forward to reading your comments.
This happened at an unknown location, but if you look at it, it's only snowing in one place. Only over this one tree. If you look around, everything else is green.
Our next clip comes from a doorbell cam, and you wouldn't believe what it captured. Take a look. That's certainly a strange thing, but not the kind of stranger you would expect at your door. It looks weird and appears to be levitating. It also looks like it has an orb in the front which casts a shadow whilst it moves. Not normal, right? We've had trouble determining what exactly this is, so can you help? Still on strange and undiscernible captures, we moved to the seaside where an individual captured something unique. Take a look. It starts off as a foggy mess that leaves you wondering what it is that you are looking at. Within a few seconds, though, whatever it is comes into view. We still can't see much of it, but it's not pareidolia at play. We see what looks like a head and maybe horns. Some who saw the clip in the paranormal group it was uploaded in believe this might be a leviathan. Some also mention Chulu. There were some selected few who thought it could be a UFO base. Not everyone believes the capture is genuine, though. There were some who thought and believed it was all fake and made up. It's not fair to call any of these assumptions right or wrong, since all they are assumptions. But anyway, you've seen it too, so what do you personally think? It's always the little things that seem to get away, and if this clip is to be believed, we've got a little thing getting away. Take a look. Did you catch that? If not, take a second look. In the low right corner, you should see what looks like a dark being or creature moving. Not sure whether to call the movement stealthy, since it might just be how it moves due to its size. If you've been on this channel for a while, then you know what my prediction would be. If not, then here it is. A duende. I think it's a duende. For those unfamiliar with the term, in Spanish and Latin American folklore, a duende is a small mischievous creature, somewhat like a goblin or an elf, known for causing minor disturbances around the home. These beings are often believed to dwell in forests or hidden spaces, playing pranks on people or even helping those they take a liking to. Do you think that's what we could be dealing with here? Let's hear your thoughts. When I saw this, I felt the clip had to be CGI or fake, but Julius didn't. His eyes lit up and he called it interesting. Anyone who knows Julius knows that's a big deal. If you're joining us for the first time, Julius is our in-house scientist who is skeptical about our paranormal videos. In rare instances like today, however, he gets excited. Usually when that happens, it's a scientific phenomenon, and surely enough, this turned out to be something like that. This is a gas fire in the desert. If you're like me who is hearing the term for the first time, I did some research and found out that gas fires in the desert often occur due to natural gas vents or pockets igniting, either from lightning, human activity, or volcanic processes. A well-known example is the Darvaza gas crater in Turkmenistan, also called the Door to Hell, where a burning natural gas field has created a continuous blaze that's been active for decades, illuminating the desert with a fiery glow. Compared to that, this is small, I guess. This next clip comes from a paranormal channel on this platform called Voyager Overland. Take a look. This was captured during an overland trip to Ruby Falls in Alberta Rockies. A trail camera, and yes, today I mean trail cam. I can hear some of you giggling already. This is a trail cam? Okay, I'm sorry about the other time. Anyway, back to this. They set up a trail cam on one of their trucks, and this is what they saw in the morning. A creature showed up and was moving around the camp. There were times when the creature appeared translucent and times when it appeared more solid. What do you think we could be dealing with? Some think it's a Sasquatch and that it only appears translucent, sometimes because the rays from the infrared camera aren't hitting it well. There are also some who are convinced it's a paranormal being. You've seen the clip, so you tell us what you think.
Bocah kacir ini warga desa ini. Tuh, langsung selamat itu abangnya Pak ini. Abang tuh, makasih Bang. Makasih Bang.
This clip was sent to us with claims that it was a real-life recording of the Sukumanta. For those unfamiliar with them, the Sukumanta are mysterious, elusive beings said to inhabit the dense forests of Asia, Sumatra, Indonesia. Known in local folklore for their small stature, light skin, and remarkable speed, these forest dwellers are believed to vanish into the jungle almost instantly, making them nearly impossible to catch or study. While some theories suggest they might be descendants of an isolated indigenous tribe or even a yet undiscovered species, others see them as spirit-like figures from the Assamese mythology. Despite a lack of concrete evidence, viral sightings, including a 2007 video, have kept the legend alive, sparking fascination and debate. Whether mythical or real, the Sukumanta represent the enduring mystery and allure of the Sumatra's wild landscapes. Given these facts, you can understand the hype and excitement around them. Looking at this clip, however, I'm pretty sure it's fake. The reactions of the individuals are too unreal to consider genuine. Also, the individuals look to be covered in soot, and this isn't the first time I have seen a clip from them. Maybe, just maybe, I'm just being skeptical. Or maybe this is the real deal. But what do you think?
Bocah kacir ini warga desa ini. Tuh, langsung selamat itu abangnya Pak ini. Abang tuh, makasih Bang.
While you think about that, I'd want us to revisit the Duende legend. The old guys on this channel might recognize this clip, but let's take a second look at it regardless. You see those tiny beings in the clip, right? The last time we showed this clip, our hypothesis was that it was a duende. Given how far we have come and everything we have learned about cryptids over the months, do you think our first hypothesis of this being a duende was right? Let's see your thoughts in the comments section. It's not every day you see something like this, is it? My first thought seeing this was interesting CGI, but Aaron, our in-house conspiracy theorist and expert in all things paranormal, suggests it's St. Elmo. For those hearing it for the first time like me, St. Elmo, or St. Elmo's fire, is a fascinating entity in Filipino folklore, often described as a mysterious ball of fire that appears in remote areas, particularly near marshes, rivers, or graveyards. Its name derives from San Elmo's fire, a real atmospheric phenomenon where a bluish or violet glow can appear on pointed objects during thunderstorms, named after St. Erasmus, or St. Elmo, the patron saint of sailors. However, the San Elmo of Filipino legend carries a more supernatural significance, often viewed as a restless spirit or an omen. In Philippine stories, San Elmo is typically associated with the souls of people who died tragically or those who have unresolved issues on Earth. Some believe that these fiery orbs represent spirits trying to communicate with the living or find peace, while others see them as guardians of hidden treasures or places. The San Telmo is said to float, dance, or follow travelers, leading some astray in dense forests or at night. Accounts of San Telmo's sightings usually describe the flame as hypnotic, instilling both fear and wonder in those who encounter it. While scientific explanations like will-o'-the-wisps caused by the combustion of gases from decaying organic material have been proposed, the San Telmo remains a powerful symbol of mystery in Filipino culture, embodying the awe and caution with which people regard the unknown forces of nature and the spirits of the departed. This footage is from a live TV broadcast. A man was watching a news report on a collapsed bridge and suddenly, in the background, two birds flew by. The birds don't just fly out of the camera's view, instead they disappear entirely. This isn't the first time viewers have reported people or animals glitch on live television. There are several documented instances of people appearing, disappearing, or even momentarily phasing out on screen. While some believe these could be technical errors caused by broadcasting issues or the technology used in live feeds, others speculate that there's something more mysterious going on, like matrix glitches, parallel universes, or portals even. But what are your thoughts on what happened to these birds? Back in 2011, a family was camping in the Kansas woods when they spotted something unusual passing by their site. Moving through the trees was a huge bipedal creature covered in thick hair from head to toe. It moved with an almost calculated, stealthy gait as it made its way deeper into the woods. While many who've seen the footage immediately labeled it a Bigfoot, this one didn't appear as massive as the Bigfoot most descriptions paint. Some believe it was staged, maybe a prank or a person in a costume, but others argue it could be authentic evidence of a real Bigfoot sighting, suggesting that not all Bigfoots are alike in size. What do you think?
What?
This footage was captured by a security guard assigned to watch over a graveyard after locals reported seeing a strange apparition that had been unsettling people in the area. Hoping to get to the bottom of the mystery, he was stationed there to keep an eye on things, and what he caught on camera that first night might explain the apparition the locals were complaining of. In the middle of the night, he noticed a faint light on the grave. He zoomed on in, and he saw a person nearby holding a small red container. The person seemed to be scooping something from the container into their palm, then blowing on it, sending a powdery substance scattering into the air. Just as things could not get more bizarre, the person suddenly jumped into what looked like a freshly dug grave. But here's where things get even stranger. Before the person leapt, a shadowy head seemed to bob up from the ground where he jumped into it. Like he just dug a grave and brought the dead back to life. Perhaps that is why there is an apparition roaming the graveyard. Some are convinced it's staged, but others think it may hint at something darker. What do you think is going on here?
What?
A home security camera captured footage that's chilling, to say the least. The camera, which was set up in a room facing a glass window, picked up something eerie in the dead of night. Out of nowhere, a white face with no visible nose and two pitch-black eyes appeared at the window. It peered into the room for just a moment, scanning its surroundings before retreating back into the darkness. What kind of creature was this? What would you do if you saw this staring back at you in the middle of the night?
¿O qué esa vaina?
This footage comes with an unsettling mystery. A group staying at a seaside hotel reported hearing a woman's wails in the night. The cries sounded as if they were coming from somewhere out near the water, prompting them to call the police. When an officer arrived, he began recording. He too heard the wails echoing over the shoreline. Strangely though, as he moved closer to where the sound came from, it drifted even further out to sea. The incident reminds me of La Llorona, the legendary ghost said to lure people to their doom with her mournful cries. But was this really an encounter with La Llorona, or was there someone genuinely in distress calling out for help in the dark?
¿O qué esa vaina?
A family living in the Appalachian Mountains decided to take action after experiencing numerous paranormal encounters. To capture evidence, they set up security cameras around their house. One camera in particular, positioned to face the woods at the back of the property, recorded something in the dead of night that left them stunned. The footage revealed an apparition moving amidst the trees. It was human-shaped but appeared as a small, smoke-like entity weaving in and out of sight. The figure drifted through the dark forest, vanishing and reappearing as if it were part of the shadows themselves. Given the notorious reputation of the Appalachian Mountains for eerie and unexplained phenomenon, this sighting is hardly surprising. With so many legends and stories rooted in the area, this is no surprise at all. What do you think this entity could be? A lost spirit or a wisp? In a heartwarming moment, a newlywed couple, excited about their new home, decided to capture the classic bridal carry as the husband lifted his wife and crossed the threshold. With the front door wide open and friends filming, they entered their new home without a second thought. But when they watched the video weeks later, they noticed something disturbing. Just before they step inside, a shadowy figure with glowing eyes can be seen in the background lurking behind the door. The figure stands there only briefly before slipping back into the house. Neither the couple nor the friends filming had noticed it that day. Now, with the unsettling footage in hand, the couple is on edge. They can't help but wonder, what was that eerie presence? And more chillingly, is it still sharing the space with them, hiding in the shadows of their new home? One night, a woman went stargazing. She decided to record the moment when something unexpected happened. From high in the sky, a strange light suddenly began to descend. It had two distinct colors, red and green. She filmed as the object fell beyond a line of trees, vanishing from view, and then, in the instant, the entire sky lit up brilliantly, illuminating the landscape before fading back into its usual darkness. Many who have seen this video are debating what it could be. Could this be an identified flying object? The property owner recently reviewed her security footage and noticed something strange. The footage, taken in the middle of the night, captured a person standing on the other side of the road. For a few seconds, everything seemed still, but then the scene took an unsettling turn. As she watched, the figure suddenly began to change shape. The person seemed to transform into a four-legged creature, and the transformation was not smooth. There was a clear distortion in the atmosphere around them, almost as if reality itself was bending. Once fully transformed, the creature ran off into the darkness, leaving the road empty once more. What do you think? Could this be real evidence of something supernatural, or simply a digital anomaly? This next footage comes from Argentina and is taken from a live TV broadcast. The show covered weather updates and showcased real-time footage of various areas. However, in this particular clip, something eerie was spotted that caught the viewer's attention. The footage was focused on someone's backyard at night. At first glance, everything seemed normal, but then an odd movement on the grass drew attention. When you look closer, it appears to be the upper torso of a man with no legs hopping rapidly across the yard. The figure moved unnaturally, almost gliding while maintaining a swift, ghostly motion. The ghostly figure's sudden appearance and movement make it difficult to dismiss as a mere trick of the eye. What do you think this could be? A bad vibe video mix or something more mysterious? In this next footage, captured on a secluded property with a security camera monitoring the grassy land, something eerie unfolds. In the middle of the night, a humanoid figure appears in the footage. It moves with an unusual gait, bent at the waist as if searching for a place to stay hidden. The creature carefully navigates the area before settling behind a large tree, staying out of sight. While some viewers argue that this could be an intruder or a person trying to avoid detection, skeptics believe that this sighting could be something far more mysterious, like a skinwalker. What do you think? Is this just a trespasser, or could it be evidence of something more paranormal? This footage comes from a home security camera set up by a family trying to catch whoever was taking items from their house. However, what they found was far stranger than any intruder. The camera was positioned inside the house and facing a door, captured something unexpected. After a few moments, the door opens by itself, but upon zooming in, you can notice something unsettling. There's a small figure with a visible head appearing to open the door. It resembles a miniature human. Some people speculate that it's just a baby, but the way the figure acts and how it manages to open the door makes the theory seem unlikely. Others believe this could be a duende. They're known for mischievous acts and the disappearance of household items. So what are your thoughts? Sometimes we forget that security guards and even law enforcement officers are human too. They can feel fear just like the rest of us. This footage serves as a chilling reminder of that. In this clip, a security guard was patrolling one evening when he heard some unsettling noises and decided to investigate, using his phone to record and torch the light as well. What he captured in the darkness was this eerie figure that resembled a person but appeared to be covered in some kind of shiny substance. Most unsettling of all, its eyes were glowing in the dark. Before he could react further, the creature suddenly bounded toward him on all fours, moving with inhuman agility. The guard did not wait around. He bolted from the scene as fast as he could. Some viewers speculate that this could have been a person under the influence or perhaps possessed, while others believe this encounter hints at something more supernatural. Julius, on the other hand, sees nothing but a doctored clip. But what do you guys think? Passenger on an aeroplane captured something intriguing while filming out of the window. Suspended in the sky was a shiny, unidentified craft that hovered momentarily. It appeared metallic, reflecting sunlight in a way that made it stand out clearly against the blue sky. Then a split second, it zoomed off at an impossible speed, disappearing from view almost instantly. This footage has sparked debates, with some suggesting it might be a highly advanced drone or experimental aircraft. However, others are convinced it points to something beyond our current technological understanding, possibly a UFO. What do you guys think this could be?
Oh. Whoa. What is that? It's like teleporting. It's like vacuum.
I've come across many unsettling clips, but this next footage takes it to a whole new level.
Now, imagine being at a graveyard and you look over and see a mausoleum, and then after looking for a while, you see something move in that mausoleum. What are you gonna do next? I'm probably gonna end my time short.
A man was visiting a graveyard when he noticed something unusual in one of the mausoleums. Inside, there appeared to be someone lying down, covered by a blanket, as if they were sleeping. What made it eerie, though, was that the person lifted the blanket for a brief moment, revealing a glimpse of movement, and then quickly ducked back under it, hiding. It's baffling to think about what this could mean. How did they get inside, and what happened to the remains that were supposed to be there?
Now, imagine being at a graveyard and you look over and see a mausoleum, and then after looking for a while, you see something move in that mausoleum. What are you gonna do next? I'm probably gonna end my time short.
Dreams are fascinating topics, especially when they intertwine with deeply held beliefs and spirituality. Take a look at this woman's encounter after she woke from a terrifying dream.
We were laughing, haha, everything's fine. I got good vibes, and all of a sudden, they all look at me, and they're just lifeless. There's at least 30 people in the room, okay? And they all look at me, and they're like this.
In the dream, figures told her that God was not real and wouldn't come to save her. When she woke up, the fear lingered and she felt a strange, heavy presence in her home. It scared, so she prayed fervently. Then unexpectedly, she heard 3 knocks at the door. When she looked out of the window, there was no one there. Strangely, after that moment, the intense feeling of unease lifted and was replaced by calm. This experience raises questions about the connection between our dreams and reality, as well as the nature of fear, faith, and perception. Was it a spiritual encounter, a manifestation of deep-seated fear, or something else entirely?
I heard 3 knocks on my front door, and I looked outside, and nobody was there. And it was late, okay? It was late. And so after that, I was like, oh my God, whatever I casted out of my house was it got cast out. And
don't ever feel sorry for yourself. Don't ever do it! Absolutely stunning. Sis. Delicious. It's so good.
This particular footage has stirred up quite a conversation within some Christian and conspiracy circles. It involves this prominent pastor who has faced speculation and scrutiny for unusual behavior. Take a look at these clips of him. Some believe he might be a false prophet due to certain mannerisms, speech patterns, and controversies surrounding him. What really fueled the intrigue, though, is the claim by some that he could be a reptilian, a theory based on supposed odd moments in his videos where his eyes or expressions seemed unnatural. Of course, many attribute those interpretations to video glitches, tricks of the light, or simple over-analysis. However, for those who find significance in these conspiracies, the pastor's behavior fits into a broader narrative of hidden figures in influential positions. What do you think? Are these just baseless theories, or do they point to something more mysterious?
Don't ever feel sorry for yourself. Don't ever do it! Absolutely stunning. Sis. Delicious. It's so good.
Wolfman.
Dude, that sounds like a fucking... Is that a wolfman or a wolf? I know you... Alright, let's go! Go!
This was uploaded online by a member of our paranormal platform, claiming he and his family had encountered a wolfman. I have my reservations about the clip, but what do you guys also think? Could this be genuine, or is someone messing around with us?
Dude, that thing is big, whatever it is.
This footage is truly unsettling. It captures a couple sitting at their table having a conversation while their baby is resting in a rocker nearby. The rocker was completely still until suddenly it started to move on its own. Just at that moment, the mother turned around and the father stood up, clearly alarmed. What's even more chilling is that there appeared to be an unknown force pushing the rocker. The mother quickly picked up the baby, ensuring the child was safe. Thankfully, no harm came to the baby. What could have caused this? A man heard strange noises coming from his backyard one night and decided to investigate while staying safely inside his home. He peered through the window and began filming with his camera. What he captured is truly startling. A creature suddenly dropped out of nowhere into his backyard, landing behind some bushes. The creature had an alien-like appearance. Some viewers believe that it may have used some sort of portal to arrive there, given how it appeared so abruptly. The eerie nature of its arrival and its strange look raises the question: was this an otherworldly visitor, or could there be another explanation? What do you think? Take a look at this security footage captured inside a home. The camera recorded what appeared to be a ghostly figure emerging from one room and heading into another. The apparition is transparent and faint, but when the footage is zoomed in and examined closely, it resembles a little girl dressed in Victorian-era clothing. This detail adds an even more chilling element to the sighting. It might be wise for the homeowner to look into the history of the house. Could there be a story waiting to be uncovered?
What was that? Hold this, quick. Hold this.
This footage comes from Sydney, Australia. One evening, a woman was outside when she noticed something unusual in the sky. Behind the clouds, she saw a formation that appeared to be a triangular UFO, but it was made up entirely of lights. The lights moved slowly within the cloud, maintaining the triangular shape as it drifted across the sky. Could this be a new type of UFO, or perhaps an advanced aircraft? What do you guys think? Just in case you're confused, listen to me and don't be. According to the man who recorded this footage, this woman showed up at his home and started making noise like an owl. He thought it was a prank, so he stepped out to look, and this is what he saw. What do you guys think? Still on unexplained images, take a look at this Trailcam capture. At first glance, it looks like an everyday picture of the woods, but take a closer look. There's a big, furry creature moving in the background just behind the trees. Is it possible that we're looking at a bear, a gorilla, or perhaps another type of ape? A closer examination and you'd realize that whatever the creature is, it's definitely not any of these animals. It appears to walk upright with a human-like gait. Judging by its height in relation to the trees, it could be said that the creature is also quite tall. I'm convinced that we're dealing with a cryptid here, and only one fits the bill: Bigfoot. But what do you think? Next, we have another video clip capturing the curiosity of animals. In this footage, we see a camera being licked by what could be presumed as the legendary creature, Bigfoot. The footage begins with a striking red hue, which sets an eerie tone. As it continues, we witness what appears to be a tongue licking the camera screen, an unexpected sight in Trailcam captures. The uploader claims this isn't the first occurrence and believes he may be dealing with a juvenile Bigfoot playing with the camera equipment. It may sound like a stretch, but what are your thoughts on this? Share in the comments section. with a wild yet very spooky one. Take a look. In the footage, we see a house that's situated in an isolated part of an estate in Scotland. The footage was taken by tourists who were feeling brave and decided that an abandoned house in an abandoned part of town would be a fun place to hang out. In the footage, we see the tourists walking along and recording an eerie-looking house. They aren't bothered because it's supposed to be an abandoned house. That was at least the case until they saw movement in the house. They focus on the window with the movement, and sure enough, someone's there. Not the kind you'd expect, but they're there. The person looks out of the window and they see her or it because it has pale white skin as if it has been dead. It has dark patches around its eyes and maybe a horn. It's hard to say because whatever it is retreats as soon as it realizes it's being discovered. Instead of running from the building, these tourists run toward it, and I can't help but wonder why. But what do you think of the whole ordeal? Tell us in the comments section. Next, we have this really odd Trailcam capture. In it, we see a stack of orbs arranged in a vertical manner. If we weren't knowledgeable of the paranormal, we'd ignore this as a bad capture, but knowing that orbs are usually an indication of spiritual or paranormal activity, we found this capture interesting. Could the Trailcam have been situated in a place rich with spiritual and paranormal activity? We couldn't help but wonder, but experts have suggested that the stacked orbs could be the result of a bug distorting the capture. However, we find it difficult to believe since we don't see the typical shape of a bug. So we must ask, what are your thoughts on the matter? Could we be witnessing the paranormal? Is it just a bug, or could it be something entirely different? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Unlike the previous Trailcam owners on this list, this man actually intended to capture a paranormal on his Trailcam. He'd heard the area he had set up his Trailcam was a magnet for such, and he wanted to capture the next viral cryptid. Imagine his shock when he realized that his camera had actually captured a humanoid creature. Upon closer examination of the image, his excitement quickly turned into disappointment. While he may have captured a humanoid, it was no cryptid, but a human with questionable fashion choices. But hey, who are we to judge another person's fashion sense, right?
What was that? Wow. We're definitely getting closer, like really close.
In this intriguing nighttime footage, it appears to have been captured by a group of friends venturing into the wilderness. The recorder's commentary suggests a casual and carefree attitude. However, as the video unfolds, it takes on an eerie and unsettling tone.
Oh my that's thick. I thought it was another one of those skull things. I think we should try to find its base camp.
The initial discovery of bloodstains on the ground prompts a reaction from the recorder, signaling the group's growing unease. As they continue their journey, their path leads them to an enigmatic site obscured by a cluster of leaf-like structures, which further heightens the suspense.
What is that behind? Is that a brain? Stop.
A pivotal moment occurs when they pause, and the camera captures vertical sources of light seemingly levitating nearby.
Let's look at this.
This development elicits fear and astonishment from the explorers, causing them to express their horror of what they're witnessing. In their haste to escape, the camera inadvertently captures what appears to be a skeletal figure holding a source of illumination. The authenticity of this footage remains a subject of debate. While some viewers might believe it to be genuine, others might suspect it to be staged or manipulated. Ultimately, the decision about its authenticity is open to interpretation, and it's left many questioning whether it represents a real encounter with the supernatural or a cleverly crafted piece of storytelling. Let us know what you think about the whole thing in the comments section. If you thought things couldn't get any creepier, oh boy, are you wrong. Imagine walking into the woods and coming across this. In this footage, we stumble upon a truly bizarre find in broad daylight, an enigmatic miniature figure carved from wood or possibly a dried-up creature. Its features are like anything we've ever seen before. 4 small breasts, a round head, hat-like ears, extra toes, and curled fingers. Based on its rigid and unmoving appearance, it's highly likely that this is a statue or a piece of art deliberately placed in the woods. The figure's purpose and origin remain shrouded in mystery, leaving us with a plethora of intriguing questions. Naturally, the explorer who came across it wanted to investigate some more, but the eerie presence and nature of the figure discouraged him. This caused him to leave the area with more questions than answers. We're relieved he prioritized his safety, but the mystery of what this figure is and why it's in the woods still intrigues us. Do you have an idea? Do you have answers? Please share in the comments section, as we really love to crack this enigma. Thank you in advance. "'Tis the season for celebration, but this joy is short-lived when a woman hears growling from deep within the woods near her. While it's natural for someone to flee in such situations, this courageous woman defies her instinctual fear and bravely ventures toward the source of the menacing growls. Equipped with her phone, she begins recording and ventures deep into the woods. As she approaches, she delicately pushes aside vegetation, which reveals what you are currently seeing on your screens. And yes, that's a black creature crouched at the tree with something reddish where its mouth should be. The woman didn't stay for long and ran immediately after she saw the creature. But what is it? Some who saw the video claim it's a mystical creature or a cryptid with a fiery mouth. Believe me when I say we at Classified Captures love the paranormal as much as anyone, but that assertion is just ridiculous. That's definitely a black panther with its mouth open. For our next video, we have something rather odd and quite unanticipated. And no, it's not a paranormal creature or event. I mean, well, how do I explain? Well, watch the footage. Yep, that's definitely one gifted elephant. We have no idea why that elephant suddenly broke the fence and what it was looking for, but looking down below, we can definitely say he was looking for a damsel. But judging by how the video ended, we doubt he found one. Poor thing. Our hearts go out to this lonely creature, and we hope that it encounters a Mrs. Elephant soon, as it undoubtedly deserves some luck in the romance department. While driving through the woods, an unusual sight confronted this person. 2 figures walking ahead of their car. At first glance, these figures appear to be ordinary humans, 2 girls, to be precise. The driver's curiosity got the best of them, and they decided to park the car, intending to inquire about what these girls were doing in the woods at such an hour. However, when the girls turned to face the driver, something deeply unsettling unfolded. These beings, with their backs initially turned, appeared to lack facial features altogether. Their entire bodies emitted an eerie, otherworldly glow. It was as if they were luminous entities from beyond our realm. Startled by this inexplicable and unsettling encounter, the driver wasted no time in hastily departing from the scene, leaving behind a lingering question. Were these glowing beings aliens, spectral entities, or something else entirely? Tell us what you think in the comments section. In the world of mysterious sightings, this one truly stands out as a head-scratcher. Out in the woods, a creature with an otherworldly appearance was spotted, leaving observers both baffled and intrigued. The creature's features are a bewildering blend of the familiar and the bizarre. It possesses piercing eyes with dark pupils reminiscent of a predator, while its body takes on the form of a lizard. However, the head is where things take an eerie turn, resembling that of a hairless human with its distinct eyes and nose. To further confound, it sports 3 fingers on each hand, each adorned with sharp, menacing claws. Perhaps most intriguingly, this enigmatic being exhibits a spine covered in what appears to be scale-like structures that continue down its tail. The overall effect is that of a science experiment gone wrong, but there's also the possibility that it's an elaborate hoax. What do you think? Next, we have this series of photos that recently raise intriguing questions. At first glance, they appear to be ordinary pictures of deer in a wooded area. However, as each subsequent photo is illuminated using the Trailcam app, spectral images start to emerge. One photo displays a red hue while another reveals a yellow tint. Once these images were shared with the paranormal community, speculation quickly arose. Some believe that these ghostly figures captured on camera are the spirits of deceased deer that have not yet transitioned to the next plane, a concept that pushes the boundaries of our understanding and challenges our perception of the natural and supernatural world. As extraordinary as that sounds, we'd love to hear your thoughts about it. What do you think about the whole thing? Next, we have this Trailcam capture, which is nothing but a hazy image. Despite the image's haziness, a discernible silhouette emerges. The silhouette bears a resemblance to Darth Vader from Star Wars, but it's highly unlikely this image was taken on Mustafar. What then are we looking at? While the truth remains unknown, our suspicion leans towards this being a cryptid. Take a look at its hands and you'll realize it has what looks like claws, and although it seems to wear something, I suspect it might just be fur. Discerning the features does not, however, tell us what it is. It's hard to believe it's Bigfoot given the claws and slender body. But what do you think we're dealing with here? Could it be a never-before-seen creature? Is it a new kind of cryptid, or is it merely an emaciated Bigfoot? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Next, we have footage that presents us with a vast expanse of land covered in grass. However, as we examine the scene more closely, we notice something intriguing, if you could call it that. Towards the darker area of the landscape where the illumination is limited, 2 bright red lights stand out. They don't just look like small dots or lights, they look like eyes belonging to a large creature. Speculation often arises when such mysterious sightings occur, and it's not uncommon for people to associate this with another potential Bigfoot sighting. However, let's consider other possibilities. While many in the paranormal community subscribe to the idea that it's indeed a Bigfoot, when you pay attention to the footage, you see a small animal moving toward the right side of captured footage. The creature is in no rush and moves as though it has all the time in the world. If there was indeed a large creature with glowing eyes, trust me, that small animal would have been running for its life. How then do we explain the glowing eyes in the footage? CGI, AI, VFX? Whichever one fits the bill. The footage is most definitely doctored, and I'd like to believe it was done for clout. I mean, they almost had us too, until we noticed the small moving animal. What do you think of the whole thing? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. If you thought that was bizarre, then I wonder what you will make of this next one. In fact, why don't I just show you? I know it's rhetorical, but I still have to ask, what do you see in this capture? I don't know about you, but there's a striking resemblance between whatever that is and James P. Sullivan from Disney's Monster, Inc. You can't unsee it now, can you? Either way, what creature do you think you see in the capture? The one who sent it in believes it's a Sasquatch. Taking a second look at it, I kinda understand why the person may have said this, but it just doesn't cut it for me. The supposed capture doesn't look the littlest bit real, although you have to admit it's a cool-looking cryptid. If you were to ask me, though, I'd say that this is nothing more than an AI creation. It's just too obvious when I look at it. What about you? This next clip was taken by an Indonesian YouTuber and his adventurous friends who set out to capture thrilling encounters with dangerous animals. Little did they know they would stumble upon something entirely unexpected. As they ventured deeper into the woods, their cameras rolling, a humanoid creature darted into the darkness, eluding their pursuit. Undeterred, the fearless crew gave chase, but the elusive being outpaced them, disappearing into the night. The creature they encountered was peculiar indeed, a naked humanoid with elongated limbs and a hairless head crouched in an enigmatic pose. Upon reviewing the footage, they made a startling discovery. The mysterious creature had actually been walking around them the entire time, and they never noticed. But what was it? Was it an extraterrestrial being, an otherworldly visitor, or could it be a clever fabrication by the YouTubers? The truth remains elusive, but what do you think? This next capture is quite the wild one. It was taken as far back as 2011 in the backyard of the Trailcam owner. At first glance, the capture shows a furry cat staring towards the camera. However, upon closer inspection, something else becomes apparent. If you examine the image more closely, you'll notice two eyes and a face also peering toward the camera. The face exudes an ominous aura, evoking a sense of impending malevolence. However, beyond these details, the image remains shrouded in mystery. The one who posted it online hadn't posted anything again since. We can only hope that the individual is fine, but what do you make of the capture? Share your thoughts with us. Still on shadows, take a look at this next one. This footage was taken from a dash cam on a vehicle late at night. The uploader of the footage felt something cross his vehicle whilst driving at night. Although it scared him, he assumed it might be a deer or some other form of animal, as they are notorious for such activities on the particular highway he was on. He got home, however, reviewed the footage, and realized that it was no deer. In fact, it was no live animal at all. It was simply a shadow moving in front of the vehicle at high speed. He had experts look at it to make sure his camera wasn't misbehaving, and lo and behold, it wasn't. He'd actually captured a shadow creature that took the form of an animal. What was it? Well, we really can't tell, but that only makes the encounter more mysterious. Have you ever had such an encounter? Tell us about it in the comments section. We'd really love to hear it. In this video clip, we are presented with a rather unusual sight, an enigmatic creature with a large, reddish-brown and hairy appearance. It appears to be a well-preserved body of an ape-like beast. As much as I'd love to tell you that's an ape, the uploader insists that what you are seeing on your screen is not an ape. It's purportedly a Bigfoot, supposedly killed and preserved in ice. He claims to have discovered it during an exploration and captured the videos. Looking at the footage now, do you agree that's Bigfoot? Stepping away from raccoons, we have this eerie and quite frankly very disturbing footage. It was taken from the body cam of a young man exploring what looks like a tunnel in the woods. Wondering what I'm talking about? Watch this. You saw it, didn't you? A creature emerged from the darkness, screaming and terrifying the person exploring. And what exactly was it? Due to the video's quality, it's difficult to discern. It appears to be a humanoid creature with beady eyes. All who saw the video thought it might be a skinwalker, but we disagree. A second look and the mystery surrounding the creature dissipates. You start to realize that you might actually be looking at a computer-generated image. At least, that's what we think. But what do you think? How will you explain this, a fox and a wolf frozen when it looks like they were about to attack each other? If someone told us this was possible, we'd no doubt dispute it. but here we're seeing two predators frozen in time just as they were about to attack each other. Was their intense desire to attack each other so overpowering that they momentarily forgot the reality of the situation, or could there be other factors at play? Perhaps in a whimsical twist, Elsa from Frozen paid them a visit. Well, we can't say for sure, but if there is a scientific explanation for this, please do share it with us. We'd like to hear it. Birds are very jumpy animals, and the slightest movement could get them flying away. So tell me why this little birdie hopped on this rider's bicycle in the woods. It was almost as if this chirpy avian had some kind of message. Maybe it thought our cyclist had overstayed their welcome, like the woodland guardian saying, "Hey buddy, the forest isn't your personal hangout spot." Or perhaps this was Mother Nature's reminder that we humans are just visitors in her grand domain. Who knows what went on in the mind of that little bird? Maybe it fancied the bicycle as the latest in avian-approved purchase. If you thought that was weird, take a look at this next footage. See anything unusual in the footage? No? Well, let's give it another look. If you're having trouble spotting anything unusual, focus on the top left of the footage. Notice those strange, unsettling movements in the top left. Do they seem natural to you? Well, the uploader is convinced these movements are far from ordinary. He saw movements resembling a face and speculated that an otherworldly creature might be stalking the deer, possibly with a sinister intent. Unsure, he posted it online seeking the opinions of other Trailcam owners, and, of course, the members of the paranormal community responded. To them, whatever that is, it's anything but normal. Their suspicion? A Dogman lurking in the shadows, eyeing the deer as its next meal. Take a third look at the footage. You can't fault them for thinking that. After all, does it not look like there's a real predator lurking in the shadows? The video was tagged as a modern Dogman sighting, and this naturally caused it to blow up. On the flip side, some Trailcam experts dismissed the Dogman theory as unnecessary. To them, the creature was nothing more than a squirrel moving in the tree. After closely examining the footage, I can understand their perspective, but what's your take? Do you also see the Dogman, or is it simply a case of mistaken identity? Ever wondered what it would be like if Spider-Man's spider bit a deer instead of a human? Well, prepare yourselves for this mind-boggling image that has been circulating among our followers. According to the sender, their Trailcam captured this astonishing sight, a deer with multiple legs and spider-like eyes. However, upon closer inspection, it becomes clear that this image is far from authentic. While it would certainly be a remarkable sight if such a creature existed, we can confidently say that this is nothing more than a poorly executed attempt to deceive the paranormal community. As much as we thrive on exploring the mysteries of the supernatural, we're committed to upholding the integrity of our investigations. Rest assured, we won't pass off hoaxes as genuine phenomena. Nonetheless, it's fascinating to ponder the possibilities. What are your thoughts on this peculiar image? Next, we have this capture from a trail camera set up in Virginia. Take a look at the capture. Yes, we know it's blurry et al., but what do you see? Hard to say, right? Well, there are some who think that it's a lizard, others think it's a turtle, and some think it's a snake. But here's the kicker. The trail cam is situated on a tree at least 4 feet from the ground. That makes you wonder about it being a turtle. The uploader of the footage, however, refused to mention where it was, leaving it up to our imaginations. Given that West Virginia is known for its snake populations, we're leaning toward it being a snake. After all, the snakes in West Virginia are also known to climb trees. But do tell us, have you ever captured an image like this on your trail camera? If you have, what creature was it? Dinosaurs are extinct, right? I mean, it's a basic fact and everyone knows it. Our next clip, however, challenges that hypothesis. Watch. In the dead of night, the video reveals a tree and a source of light, but what steals the show is the sudden appearance of a figure that moves in a way reminiscent of an extinct dinosaur. The creature seems to have its head held high and its tail wagging, much like a dinosaur's motion. However, dinosaurs are widely believed to be extinct for millions of years. Some experts think the figure in the video could be something else entirely, possibly a small dog. They think the quality of the footage makes it appear the way it does, something along the lines of an optical illusion. The footage was captured by Christina Ryan's security camera, and she refuses to believe it's not a dinosaur. She's very convinced that the creature is a raptor. What do you think, though? Share your thoughts and speculations in the comments section. Next, we have this image that was captured by an unknown man. Looks like your everyday picture, does it not? But wait till you hear the story behind it. The image on your screen reveals a young girl looking back at the camera or an individual filming from behind a tree. If you thought that this was a girl playing hide and seek, well, we can't fault you, but turns out the story is actually something much, much darker. The individual who took the image believes we're actually seeing a ghost and not a real person. He believes that the girl in the image died in that particular forest years ago and has since not left the area because her spirit has no peace. He was creeped out by the capture and shared it. Do you want to know what my thoughts are? If this is indeed true, how many more ghosts lurk in the neighborhoods? How many spirits have we met or entertained without really knowing what they were? Some speculation surrounding this image suggest it may have been taken a long time ago and that the girl might have actually been alive when it was taken. While that sounds a bit reassuring if we're going to go by what the uploader said, then the narrative is false. While that sounds a bit reassuring if we are going to go by what the uploader said, then the narrative is false. It's always intriguing to come across such images, but they always come with their mysterious aura and interesting twists. What do you think about the whole thing? Tell us in the comments section. Do you believe in ghosts? Well, if you didn't, then perhaps this capture is for you. A wildlife photographer had set up his trail camera in the heart of the woods, hoping to capture some night photos of the wildlife in the area. Imagine his surprise when he reviewed the footage and saw what you see on your screens. Do you see it? Take a closer look at the mysterious, blurry figure lurking on the right side of the screen. Notice how it appears as a smoky, ethereal creature lingering on the right side of the screen. So, what's going on here? Your guess is as good as ours. Why is it there? Did it suddenly materialize in our realm? Could it be on a hunt for unsuspecting deer? Can we even trust the authenticity of this image? Well, that's one thing we can't say for sure. What do you think? Get ready for our next mind-boggling clip, straight from the heart of the woods. This trail cam footage captures a creature like no other, strolling through the forest like it owns the place. The trees stand tall, adorned with lush green leaves, as if they're in on its secret. Just take a look at the footage. It's as tall as those majestic trees, with arms so long they practically graze the ground. And here's the kicker. It moves with a slow but human-like gait that makes some folks think it's Bigfoot. Others within the paranormal community, however, think it's a whole new kind of cryptid, one that's managed to stay under the radar till now. The non-believers in the paranormal are amused by these assertions and reckon it's just a dude in a fancy costume. Yeah, right. But what's your take? Do you think it's a real deal or is it just another hoax? Share your thoughts in the comments section. In this video clip, we witness a late-night ride with the passenger recording the journey as the car passes through a grove of trees illuminated by an overhead light. However, the drive takes an unexpected turn when the car slows down, drawing attention to a peculiar sight. Among the trees, a dark creature moves. Due to the limited visibility and darkness, it's hard to tell exactly what it is. Many in the paranormal community speculated that it might be a skunk ape. Given the fact that we have little to go on about, it's an impossibility, but there are others who think it's nothing more than a black bear and that the footage was recorded by some park rangers. The video offers a fascinating glimpse of the animal's size and movements, but it's essential to remember that sometimes in low light or unusual conditions, things may appear differently than they actually are. So I have said what I believe it to be. What do you personally think? Next, we have a Trailcam capture from the woodlands that's somewhat blurry. In the capture, however, we see the trees and some leaves hanging here and there with little to no grass on the ground. With all the blurriness and no grass, situation is a black object lying lifeless on the ground. Shape-wise, it comes off as an ape-like creature lying on its back. I'm tempted to think ape or Bigfoot, but perhaps it's simply my paranormal and imaginative brain at work. What do you think, though? What do you see when you look at the capture? I'd like to read in the comments. In this next footage, a person was taking a stroll one night when he comes across a creature crouched on the floor. The creature resembles a goblin with unnaturally smooth plastic-like skin and eerily glowing eyes. As he grabbed his phone to capture the scene, the creature became aware of his presence and started moving aggressively towards him, emitting spine-chilling, otherworldly noises. As realistic as this looks and sounds, I must say the one who created this CGI is very good, because I was genuinely almost spooked. What about you? Next is a Trailcam footage that's as scary as it is intriguing. I mean, take a look at the image. This was captured by a Trailcam situated at an undisclosed location. Although the image lacks clarity, we can vividly see a ginormous creature standing meters away from the camera. It's walking on its 2 feet like a human would, but with a body that doesn't quite look human. It's muscular with a heavy build. A part of me suspects that it might have a lot of fur as well, but that's not made clear by the image. It doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to realize that we're dealing with a cryptid, and in this case, it's none other than Bigfoot. But that leaves us with questions. Where did it come from, and is that particular location safe? I guess we'll never know. Deers are curious, yet very careful creatures. It's only natural for them to observe unexpected and unknown objects in their environments from a safe distance. Clearly, that's what the doe in this capture is doing. She's noticed the strange light orb and is looking at it. But what at all could it be? Well, if you've been on this channel for long, then you know that the deer is looking at a spirit orb. They tend to become visible during heightened spiritual or paranormal activity. At least, that's what we believe. Is the capture legit, though? We want to believe it is, but there's something offsetting about its looks and body language. I just can't seem to put a finger on it. Perhaps it's just me. If you notice it too, please do share it in the comments section. It's hard to tell what exactly we are looking at, but there's no denying that whatever that is, it looks like what a kangaroo would look like if it had an interest in photography and is capable of smiling. The footage was clearly captured at night in a very dark environment. This makes it hard to discern what lies beyond the camera's immediate area of focus. Despite the uncertainties associated with the image, it's evident that the creature is humanoid. Could it be a previously undiscovered cryptid, or is that merely a normal kangaroo standing in front of a trail camera? Could the odd nature of the image be the result of bad lighting when the image was taken? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. This footage was taken in Anna, Illinois. It looks like some sort of stormy cloud, and it's very terrifying. A little research, and Julius discovered it was called a storm wall. Aaron believes it was the wrath of the gods, but thank God we have Julius for things like this. Storm walls, also known as shelf clouds, are captivating weather phenomena. Typically manifesting at the forefront of thunderstorms, they form when cold air descends, displacing and uplifting the warmer air ahead, resulting in distinctive and occasionally dramatic cloud formations. Shelf clouds look like wedges along the horizon, giving a kind of scary appearance, but they can make beautiful views. They're not tornadoes or wall clouds linked to severe weather. Instead, they happen because of the complicated mix of air movements during thunderstorms. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Share with us in the comments section. After a snowstorm, a man went walking through the forest when he came across a strange spectacle in the woods. There was some sort of white smoke coming from a tree. Now it's very curious because it just snowed and there was no indication of a fire being lit up. This situation sparks talks on the internet. A theory emerges suggesting that the tree might serve as a clandestine passageway to an underground bunker, with the smoke serving as a telltale sign of covert activity below. What do you think this is? If you said dragon, I wouldn't blame you because that's exactly what came to mind when I saw these remains. The discovered remains exhibit a strikingly large number of bones resembling the skeletal structure of an enormous sea snake or serpent-like creature. I mean, how many creatures do you know that look like that? If it was an isolated incident, well, we could call it a hoax. But in recent discovery in the Yucatan Peninsula, explorers have reported the unearthing of peculiar remains that some believe may be linked to ancient sea creatures, often mythologized as dragons. These remarkable findings have led to various speculations within the scientific community and the general public. The Yucatan Peninsula, known for its diverse geological formations, has previously yielded fossils dating back to the Ice Age. Could these be the necessary proof that dragons existed in the region back then? I mean, we have got the fossils, and then we have got the Chinese lore on these creatures. There's no way it's just a mere coincidence now, is it? Share your thoughts. This image was captured on a Trailcam. Looks like it's our good old friend Bigfoot playing peekaboo with the camera. The creature in question seems to have dark fur and broad shoulders, giving it a rather imposing appearance. While it's tempting to speculate that this might be Bigfoot, it's essential to consider other possibilities. It's possible that this could be a large gorilla or another undiscovered animal. However, with more definitive evidence or additional context, it's challenging to draw any firm conclusions. What's your take on this enigmatic figure? After the sun had gone down, someone captured this candid moment. In the plain blue sky with no indication of sunlight, two vibrant orange rays tear through the fabric of the sky, casting an otherworldly glow on the earth. Pretty cinematic, right? Now, the scientific explanation would lean towards crepuscular rays, those beautiful beams of sunlight filtering through gaps in the clouds or terrain. They're like nature's own spotlight, creating this awe-inspiring display. However, I get it. There's something almost mystical about it that makes you pause. Could this be just a natural phenomenon, or is there something else at play here? Sometimes the beauty of nature just has that effect on us, making us ponder the wonders of the universe. Whether it's a trick of the light or something more magical, moments like this certainly make the world feel a bit more enchanting. Don't you agree? In this next footage, we're faced with another one of those mysterious sea creatures. This one looks like a giant spider with extremely long legs. Some say that this is a big fin squid. Bigfin squid, also known as Magnappina, a deep-sea squid known for their long, slender arms and unique fin structures. These deep-sea creatures are often encountered in exploration of the ocean depths, and their appearance can be quite unusual and mysterious. What stories does this spider-like denizen of the deep carry, and how does it contribute to the ever-expanding narrative of the marine marvels? In this eerie video, an explorer ventures into an abandoned house, capturing moments in what appears to be an underground passageway. Armed with a source of light, he carefully examines the house only to have a ghostly apparition seemingly materialize behind him. The figure emerges, seemingly out of nowhere, creating a chilling presence. The explorer's reaction suggests that he felt an unusual presence or contact, even though he initially saw nothing when he turned around. This mysterious figure reappears near a black door. It's only upon reviewing the camera footage that he becomes aware of what he captured when his focus is elsewhere. Experiences like this can be unsettling and often lead to questions about the existence of ghosts or spirits. Some might interpret such encounters as tricks of light and shadow, while others may find them compelling evidence of the supernatural. Belief in the paranormal varies among individuals, and experiences like these continue to spark debates and discussions about the unexplained. From your perspective, what explanation will you give to the whole thing? Tell us in the comments section, as we'd love to know. If you still haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do it now? Thank you very much. It means a lot to us and allows us to create more content like this. Moving on to the next clip. Have you ever heard of someone coming across a white Bigfoot? If you answered no, then it's clearly because you haven't seen our next clip. In this clip, an explorer named Carpenter was on a quest in the woods, and, as is normal for all explorers, he documented his journey. At some point in his exploration, he felt he was being watched. The creature that was stalking him was definitely trying to hide from him. Being the cunning explorer he is, he finds a way to film and capture it. What he saw was a large, white-haired creature skillfully hiding among the trees. Taking multiple looks at the creature, he concluded that the creature was none other than Bigfoot. Are there white Bigfoots, though? Not as far as we know. We only know of the snow cousin of the Bigfoot, which is the Yeti, but this doesn't look like it was captured on a snow-covered mountain. Without more conclusive evidence, it's challenging to definitely identify the creature in the video. Some people might interpret it as Bigfoot, while others may offer alternative explanations or consider it inconclusive. What's your conclusion? When I saw this, the first thing that came to mind was that it was a hologram, and an interesting looking one at that. After watching it for a while, I realized that the individual was trying to explain, using technology, how interdimensional beings may react to our own. The comments section was crazy, with comments like, "Are you saying ghosts are not necessarily the dead, but interdimensional beings?" As much as I wanted to get into the whole thing, I felt it was Aaron's field of work, since everything supernatural has to do with him. Having seen it yourself, however, what do you make of it? Now let's examine this unsettling footage captured one evening in 2023 in New York. The sky had an eerie orange hue with what appeared to be smoke or fog lingering in the atmosphere. First off, wildfires are known for casting a reddish-orange tint in the sky, and the smoke they produce can definitely create that foggy effect. If there were any wildfires in the area, that might explain it. Also, industrial activities or certain weather conditions can also contribute to hazy skies and strange colors. However, there was no report of a fire around or bad weather conditions, so what could have caused this? Is the air even safe for the people around to breathe? There is no one in sight wearing a nose mask either. Next, we have another one of those forest captures that is sure to leave you questioning everything you know and have accepted about this world. Have a look. The footage you see on your screen currently was captured by a man who was going through the woods on a beautiful sunny day. He was having one of those days when you can't shake the feeling that something otherworldly is lurking nearby, if you know what I mean. He could never shake off the feeling, and he understood once he got to the location he shot the footage you see on your screen. If you pay close attention, you'll notice that there's a dark figure in the center of the footage. Although it's not very clear, the uploader states that there was a tall ape-like beast or creature going on about its business there. Even though the creature hadn't noticed him and he was at a distance, its presence still filled him with fear. The fear he felt the moment he noticed the creature was, however, nothing compared to what he felt when the creature finally stood on its feet. At that moment, he realized that it was larger than he had already anticipated. At that moment, he felt the creature had noticed him, but it paid no attention and walked further into the woods, disappearing from sight. It's hard to authenticate the footage due to its blurry nature from being overly zoomed in. But what do you make of the footage? Do you think this is real? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. If you thought that was weird, I have one that might calm your nerves. Enter Bigfoot. The footage you see has been the cause of many debates. The debates have been on its authenticity. If you ask me, however, the creature or being moving in the footage does not appear to be CGI. The only way this could be fake is if it was a human in a bodysuit. I'm no expert, but that doesn't seem to be the case here, unless, of course, you know some 8-foot humans that are willing to play dress-up in the woods. Even then, I doubt the costume would come out this good, but that's just me. What do you think? Out in the middle of the sea, a fisherman experienced an unexpected twist during a routine fishing expedition. As he eagerly opened his fishing net, expecting a bountiful catch of fish, he was met with a surprising and unusual sight: a snake coiled among the fish. Without missing a beat, the fisherman bravely seized the snake by its head and promptly released it back into the sea. While this encounter might appear nonchalant at first glance, the video stirred some concern among viewers who identified the creature. To the casual observer, this might seem like just another fisherman's tale. However, this was no ordinary snake. It was a sea snake, one of the most venomous creatures known to inhabit the ocean depths. This man was lucky that the snake was in a good mood that day. Perhaps it wasn't luck. Perhaps he was just that skilled. What do you think? At a river, a peculiar discovery was made. A cat seemingly turned into stone. The creature appeared petrified, its form transformed over time into a rigid, rock-like statue. The sight sparked various reactions and speculations. While petrification is a natural process where organic material is replaced by minerals, it's not a common occurrence for domestic animals like cats. Typically, petrification is associated with ancient remains buried in specific geological conditions over an extended period. In this case, there might be an alternative explanation, such as the cat getting trapped in a substance that hardened over time, creating the appearance of petrification. Aaron, however, thinks someone from the Harry Potter world used the Petrificus Totalis charm. Thankfully, we know when to take him seriously. Next, we see an image I never expected to see on the internet. The image you see on your screen was taken from an old slave plantation. In the capture, we see what appears to be a small house in the middle of nowhere. That's not the weird thing, as we see such houses all the time. The strange thing about the capture is the fact that we see what appears to be a ghostly figure in shackles within the building. The being has a whitish skin, and that's as far as it goes. But why would someone put themselves in shackles in an abandoned building somewhere? The lore here is, they did not. Instead, it's believed that what you are actually seeing is the soul of one of the previous slaves who had been held in the facility. As weird and as wild as that might seem, that's the accepted truth. You might be wondering, is that even possible? Well, the evidence of its existence is what you see in the capture, unless, of course, the whole thing is false. For our next footage, we go all the way to Indonesia for a rather unconventional capture. Don't just take my word for it, take a look. Yes, you're actually looking at some sort of weird-looking giant. This is the first time we've seen this particular footage, and a subscriber here drew our attention to it. According to the original uploader, the creature just showed up at the end of their street and remained still as though it were waiting for something or someone. Looking at the creature, it's much larger and taller than an estimated size we have for Bigfoot, suggesting it's not a Bigfoot. It appears to have a lot of fur and is obviously a humanoid. Does this fit any known cryptid? Well, not one that we are aware of, but as much as I'd love for this to be real, it just doesn't feel like it. I have a strong feeling that whoever uploaded this was trying very hard to mislead us. I think this might have been a statue or something set up in the area where the footage was taken from. Given the fact that nobody is running or screaming in the footage, I'm tempted to think so. Just in case you're wondering what I think about the camera shake, well, I believe it's more fake than the video is. The shake doesn't even look the least bit realistic, but that might just be my thinking. What do you see when you look at the footage? Do you think I'm being overly critical and skeptical? Share your thoughts in the comments section. I'll be reading. In 2010, a startling scene unfolded on a golf course when a man witnessed an alligator casually strolling across the greens, appearing to carry a head in its mouth. Whose head was that, and how did the creature get the head? Now, rewind to a year earlier, and the same golf course had a missing persons report linked to it. People had suspected that she was eaten by the alligator that lived in the river nearby, so when this footage came out, people panicked, fearing the gator might be wandering about with the missing woman's head. However, further investigation revealed a less macabre truth. It turns out that the alligator was not carrying a human head, but rather a turtle in its jaws. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want us to send that big alligator after you now, would you? Exploring the depths of the ocean is indeed a fascinating endeavor, and researchers often encounter mysterious and unique creatures that are rarely seen by humans. The deep-sea environment is home to a diverse range of species, some of which have adapted to extreme conditions such as total darkness and high pressure. Some deep-sea researchers plunge into the abyss with cameras to capture glimpses of these enigmatic beings. In this footage, a particularly intriguing creature comes into view, a strange-looking creature with glowing eyes staring straight into the camera. The presence of glowing eyes in deep-sea creatures is a fascinating adaptation known as bioluminescence. Many marine organisms in the abyssal depths use bioluminescence as a means of communication, camouflage, or attracting prey. The ability to emit light in such a dark environment aids these creatures in navigating, finding food, and interacting with their surroundings. Now the question is, what creature could that be? Is it a new species or something else? My assistant Aaron could find nothing on this creature. Perhaps it's a bias because he believes it's an otherworldly creature. If any one of you know what this is, please do share in the comments section. This spectacle, captured in a shot, reveals an intriguing moment in a lush green landscape with coiled and angled branches. At the center of attention is a white or gray-looking animal with its rear facing the trail camera. While it resembles a member of the cat family, identifying the exact species remains a mystery. It could potentially be a variety of creatures, including wildcats or even domestic cats, to determine the species accurately. Further details and clearer views of the animal's characteristics would have to be necessary. Nature often surprises us with its diversity, and this sighting adds to the intrigue of the natural world. If more information becomes available or if viewers have insights, it might help clarify the identity of this enigmatic creature. Until then, we can only guess, and guess we will. Tell me what you believe you are seeing. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Late one night on a quiet, secluded farm, a farmer was stirred from his sleep by a commotion among his animals. Worried about their well-being, he quickly made his way to the source of the disturbance. Under the soft glow of the moon, he was met with an odd and unexpected sight. There, in the midst of his farm, stood a peculiar creature. It bore a resemblance to an emaciated baboon, its fur unkempt and tangled. The creature seemed agitated, hopping about in a manner that suggested it was disorientated or frightened. This was no ordinary encounter, and the farmer couldn't help but wonder about the identity of this mysterious being. Was it a lost animal, or perhaps something more enigmatic, a denizen of the night that rarely ventured in a human territory? Unsure what the answer might be, he posted it online to gather the opinions, thoughts, and feelings from the online community. Some thought it was only a baboon, others an otherworldly creature. When it comes to my team and me, the responses are mixed as well. We need a tiebreaker. What do you guys think it is? Tell us in the comments section. This next footage was sent in by a subscriber. While driving through town, they came across this in the sky. It was a glowing cross in the sky. This is not normal, and naturally it led to some pretty interesting conversations once it was uploaded. For some, the appearance of a luminous cross in the heavens triggers thoughts of divine or supernatural significance. The notion of a heavenly sign or a symbol linked to the rapture emerges, bringing with it a sense of wonder and awe. Others, however, bring a more skeptical lens to the scene, suggesting that it might just be the product of a mundane phenomena, such as a reflection on a car window. What do you guys think, real or fake? In Mexico, this strange structure was found. It looks like some sort of abandoned tunnel that leads into an underground cave system. In there, we had strange stone structures all over. In the darkness, something interesting is revealed. Even though it's hard to see, the person filming says they saw a creature in the deep darkness. The cave is naturally spooky, and thinking about something hiding there makes us wonder what secrets might be hidden inside. Maybe it's a creature that lives underground, or it could just be a trick of the light playing tricks with our minds in the mysterious parts of the cave. One thing is for sure, I'm not going into a cave that looks like this. If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us to make more videos like this for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. Another intriguing discovery captured by a trail camera is this image of a humanoid dog-like creature. The creature is covered in pristine white fur from head to toe and seems to be emerging from the woods under the cover of night. It stands upright on its hind legs, resembling what some might describe as an albino dogman. While it's true that people occasionally wear costumes or use CGI for pranks and hoaxes, this particular image does appear quite authentic. The details and posture of the creature lend an air of authenticity to the photograph. What do you think, though? Is it real? Could this be another cryptid? Or is this simply a hoax? Tell us your take. Still on the odd-looking and bizarre, what do you reckon this is? At first glance, one might think it's a bear, but once the footage is zoomed in, you realize that while it might have a body reminiscent of a bear, that creature is no bear. It appears to have what looks like horns on its head. Beyond that, it also appears to be moving on all twos like a humanoid would, albeit with a slight bend. Seeing this image in our mailbox was a real thrill, even though it might be a bit spooky in person. Is this a new type of cryptid? Is it some variation of the Bigfoot? Or is this a new bear hybrid? It's hard to say, but we can't wait for the subscriber who sent this in to revisit the location and send in more pictures. Until then, what do you think we're dealing with? Have you ever seen a creature like this? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section. We'd love to hear them. Talk about a real-life plot twist. Here's the lowdown on an unexpected scene. A woman lying unconscious on the ground, catching the attention of a concerned passerby. He quickly rushed to check up on her, but as he got closer, he noticed that she lay on the ground unconscious. She didn't even look like she was breathing. The concerned man yelled out to her until she woke up all of a sudden.
What? Hey, baby, you okay? Hey, what the? Hey, mama, you need to call. Mama, call. You all right? You good?
You okay?
You straight? Huh?
She said she was okay and looked pretty confused. Now, spectators suggest that it might be a glitch in the Matrix, but hold on to your conspiracy theories. It turns out there's a more grounded explanation. Our damsel in distress had a seizure and took an unexpected tumble from her bicycle. We really hope that she's okay now. Turns out everything is a glitch in the Matrix. Who knew? In this next footage taken in the UK, someone noticed this strange craft in the night sky. The lights on the craft showed the triangular shape of the craft as it soared through the sky. Naturally, this strange craft has led to many speculations on what we could be dealing with. As people guess and wonder, different opinions come out of the shadows. Some say the craft is from outer space, calling it a UFO. On the other hand, doubters suggest a different story. They think the mysterious vehicle might be something human-made, using otherworldly technology. Both theories seem almost true, but which do you think it is? Something unknown or a result of human innovation? Have you ever been on one of those long family trips? Do you have any interesting memories from them? If you do, I doubt they can compare to what this family captured from their trip. As you watch the current footage, notice the camera's focus on a tree at the center of the frame. Keep an eye on that tree and you'll spot a shadow moving behind it. Do you see it? It doesn't look like anything you have encountered, does it? If you were hoping I'd identify this creature and share its history as we usually do on this channel, I must disappoint you today. We have gone through our archives on cryptids and other paranormal beings, and it doesn't match with anything in our database. We're tempted to think that this is the first time this paranormal being or shadow creature has been caught on camera. Some, including the family that recorded it, have stated it's definitely a Bigfoot, but that's something we just don't see. Do you, though? This camera footage was taken from the entrance of a home where an eerie creature comes into view. Taking a critical look at the creature, it has a head shaped like a light bulb and glowing red eyes. It appears to be maintaining balance with two strong arms by its side. It repeatedly comes into view and then retreats into the darkness. It's hard to say if it's afraid or luring its next and potential victim. What could this be and where could it have popped out from? Is it a possessed doll acting as the landlord of the house when the owners are not present? An evil spirit that has attached itself to the house, perhaps? Many think it's a rake, but I call it fake. I know I rhymed there, but well, that's the game. Maybe I should stop before you call me out for lame dad jokes, but either way, what do you make of it? One night during a storm, a man took out his camera just in time to capture the electrifying moment when lightning strikes. As the darkness of the night was lit up by the strike, we noticed something. There was a strange humanoid creature. It looked much bigger than a human, but the weirdest part of the situation was that the lightning had hit the said creature and the creature burned into ashes and vanished. This might seem like something strange out of a supernatural thriller, but take a good look at the footage again. Did you see that? Some folks are sold on the idea that it's a bona fide demon getting zapped by the forces of nature, while others are throwing around theories of optical illusions or camera glitches. What's your take on it? Is it a stormy encounter with the supernatural or just a quirky play of light and shadows? Share your thoughts in the comments section. This next footage is something to consider as a conspiracy.
What the absolute fuck is it?
While on patrol, a police officer stopped by the woods when he heard this strange sound coming from within. The sound was indescribable and unlike any sound of a creature, but the depth of the sound indicated that whatever or whoever was making the sound must be pretty big. The policeman is convinced that the vocalizations are coming from a Bigfoot, and it's not so surprising. Bigfoot has been a talk in the paranormal community for years, and sounds like this have often been attributed to this enigmatic creature. So could it be the hairy, humanoid giant of the wilderness making those spine-tingling sounds, or is it just another puzzle in the grand tapestry of the unknown? What if I told you that the paranormal is not the only thing that could make you question all you know about our reality? Maybe I should just show you. Does it not look majestic? The creature on your screen is very much real, and your text today is identifying it. Do you know what species it is? Do you know a rare fact about this particular species? Tell us in the comments section and start your comment with bonus footage so we easily identify it. The most accurate description with the rarest fact will win a feature in our next video. All the best. This footage presents an intriguing discovery made by an intrepid explorer of the wild. The individual sought to investigate unusual tracks, and you won't believe what he discovered. At first glance, these footprints appear to be of human origin, resembling the impressions left behind by a person's feet or shoes. However, upon closer examination and comparison with the recorder's own shoe prints, it becomes evident that these footprints exhibit a unique characteristic: their depth. The depth to which these footprints penetrate the ground suggests a muddy or soft terrain, indicating that whatever creature left them possessed considerable weight or power. Given the profound depth of these footprints and the remote wilderness in which they were found, one theory emerges: the presence of the legendary Bigfoot. Bigfoot, often associated with elusive encounters in forested regions, is a creature that has fueled the imaginations of many. The investigator believes it's a juvenile Bigfoot, given how small but deep the footprints are. I must say that this is a sentiment I can agree with.
And I just saw a Bigfoot. Bigfoot went up into that cave. I just saw Bigfoot. Oh my God.
This man claims he just saw a Bigfoot. He was hiking up a mountain when he says he spotted a Bigfoot ahead of him at the top, heading into a cave. The man sounds out of breath and quite shaken, but strangely he didn't manage to capture any footage of the creature itself, only his panic reaction after the sighting. There are indeed reports that Bigfoot might inhabit mountainous areas, adding a layer of credibility to his claim. However, the absence of visual evidence raises doubts. It's not uncommon for people to see something unusual and not be able to record it in time, but it also opens the door for skepticism. So should we take his word for it, or is it more likely to be a hoax or a misidentification?
Bigfoot went up into that cave. I just saw Bigfoot. Oh my God.
This next footage captures the night sky, and there's something peculiar going on behind the clouds. Let's take a look. Do you see it? A glowing circle is visible, but it's not an orb. It looks flat, almost like a disc. What's really strange is that this object is moving slowly behind the clouds, not staying in one place like you might expect. We're not entirely sure what this could be. Aaron suggests it might be a portal, but typically portals are static, not moving through the sky. So could this be some sort of UFO, or is it just an elaborate hoax? Share your thoughts. What do you think that being is? Before you move any further, pause the video and write what you think it is in the comments section so we can confirm after. Moving on, what do you think it was? What did you write? Yes, the capture looks like the image of some wraith taken very late at night, but what if I told you it's none of these things? What if I told you there was actually a logical explanation for what you see? Well, there actually is. The figure captured in the video is nothing more than a man in a ghillie suit. For many of you, this might be a new term, but it's actually commonly used by the military to blend in with natural surroundings and vegetation during missions. This is the explanation for its bizarre look. At first glance, one might think this certainly has to be a humanoid creature that emerged from the deepest parts of the sea, but thankfully it's not. How was it captured on a trail cam then? Well, the trail cam that captured this might probably be located in a military zone used for training. Imagine not knowing about this and waking up to a dozen of these on your trail camera. You might think aliens are taking over the world or something, which is exactly what the owner of this trail cam footage thought. Thankfully, though, it looks like we are free, at least for the next few decades, until we truly encounter some alien species. That's if they exist. This deer camera footage captures a tranquil scene in the woods during the night. The scattered trees and the central tree with a unique marking create an eerie and mysterious atmosphere. As the camera zooms in, we can see a prominent celestial object in the sky which could easily be mistaken for the moon. However, upon closer inspection, it appears to be more like an orb or another identified object. The nature of this object raises questions and curiosity. On this channel, we've long associated orbs with supernatural activity, but some have pointed out that this could be of alien origin. Others argue it could be an unknown celestial object or orb that somehow materialized in our plane. Either of these is possible, and either of these would be a great reality. What do you personally think we're dealing with here? Tell us in the comments section. We'd love to hear it. This footage was shared by NASA. They discovered a black hole in space and it was emitting these eerie sounds. Take a look at the footage. For those unfamiliar with the concept, a black hole is one of the most mysterious and powerful objects in the universe. It's a region in space where gravity is so overwhelming that nothing, not even light, can escape its grasp. It's created from the remnants of massive stars that have reached the end of their life cycle, collapsing under their own immense gravity. Black holes used to be the stuff of imagination, but now they can be spotted, and even devices can be used to amplify the sounds coming from them. Just listen to these eerie sounds. They're so haunting. Camping is not for the faint of heart, especially when you're deep in the woods where wild animals can easily find their way to you. In this footage, a camper woke up in the morning to the sound of growling right outside his tent. Heart pounding, he cautiously unzipped the tent, only to come face to face with a massive bear standing just inches away. Panicked, he quickly zipped the tent back up, trying to put a barrier between himself and the enormous creature. It seemed the bear had sniffed him out and was now trying to claw its way into the tent. The situation was tense. One wrong move and things could have gone very badly. So the man began to scream at the bear, hoping to scare it off. To his immense relief, the loud shouts worked and the bear eventually retreated. But it was a close call, too close for comfort. Wouldn't you agree? In the annals of mysterious and unexplained phenomena, the appearance of strange beings, especially those reminiscent of aliens, tends to capture our imagination. The year 2019 brought forth a curious piece of footage from the heart of Brazil that has left many intrigued. In the video, we see a peculiar, pale and black-eyed creature. Its appearance is undeniably otherworldly, and it appears to be engaging with the Trailcam curiously. As with many such sightings, there's room for skepticism, with some suggesting it might be a well-executed hoax, possibly involving a person in an elaborate costume or skillful CGI. However, considering the vastness of the universe and our limited understanding of it, one can't help but wonder if there might be a fraction of truth to such sightings. What do you think? If you made it this far and haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do that before we go on? Thank you very much, as it means a lot. Moving back to today's episode. During a visit to an animal park, a group of tourists came across a rather unusual sight involving a giraffe. At first glance, it appears as if this giraffe was attempting to challenge the lion's claim to the jungle throne, sporting what looked like a crown atop its head. However, upon closer inspection, a different, more concerning reality emerged. The tourists soon realized that this giraffe wasn't vying for royal status. Instead, it seemed to be suffering from some kind of growth or tumor on its head, with a noticeable hole at its center. This peculiar condition could be the result of various factors, including a virus infection or even a birth defect. One can't help but feel empathy for this creature, hoping that it receives the care and attention it needs to recover or manage its condition. Does any one of you know what's happening? Please pray to tell. We'd love to know. This footage was shared by a homeowner who had a chilling experience the night before. She was woken up at around 3 a.m. by the sounds of barking and howling from the dogs in the neighborhood. But there was one particular bark that sounded very strange coming from her porch. Too scared to go outside, she decided to wait until morning. When the sun finally rose, she retrieved the video from a security camera that overlooked the porch, and what she saw was terrifying. Perched at the tip of the roof just outside her home was a figure with a pale head and a pair of glowing eyes. The creature's hands, which were clawed, gripped onto the roof's edge. The woman believed that this was a skinwalker, a shapeshifter from Native American folklore known for mimicking the sounds of animals and sometimes even humans to lure the victims outside. The odd barking and growling on a porch that night might have been the skinwalker trying to trick her into coming out. The eerie footage has left her and many others deeply unsettled. I think she should just move, don't you agree?
They're wide.
See? Somebody said that there's a guy on here saying they ain't seen prints yet.
A group of explorers ventured deep into the woods at night, armed with only their cameras and torches. The dense forest was eerily quiet, the only sounds being the crunch of leaves beneath their feet and the distant hoot of an owl. Suddenly, one of them stopped dead in their tracks, his torchlight illuminating something on the ground. There, embedded in the soft earth, was a massive, human-like footprint. It wasn't just one. They found two colossal footprints side by side, along with a large handprint pressed into the ground as if something enormous had crouched down. They believed that these prints belonged to the elusive Bigfoot. Just look at that. What do you think it is?
Well, you know what? I mean...
Can you put your foot beside of it?
Oh my God.
It's definitely bigger than our foot wide.
That is...
This intriguing footage captured in the woods offers a rather bizarre but unique sight. Amidst the natural surroundings, we see a figure that appears to be clinging to a tree with its entire body resembling the texture of tree bark. It looks as though it had been in a perpetual tug-of-war with the tree for an extended period. Naturally, the one who filmed it thought it was an interesting shot and shared it online to hear people's thoughts and ideas of what it could be. Some argued that it was not a living being, but rather a carving or sculpture designed to closely resemble a human figure. Some wanted to believe it was alien. Some also subscribed to the idea that it's digitally manipulated. If you ask me what I thought about the whole thing, I'd say the hypothesis of it being a carving might not be too far off. It's possible that this carving holds significance in local folklore or legends, but without more context, its story remains a mystery. What do you think, though? Speaking of mysterious captures, if you have footage and clips you want to show on this channel, don't hesitate to send them in. If you're unsure of what you captured, don't worry, I'm sure the thousands of subscribers who watch the videos could help you make sense of it. Simply send it in to classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. Moving on, what would you do if you ran into a ginormous creature? What would you do? If you said run for dear life, I'd consider it a normal response, but the man in the next footage did the opposite. Watch. In this clip, the recorder is strategically positioned to capture an intriguing sight within the vast forested area. Tall, lush green trees dominate the landscape, creating a serene yet mysterious backdrop. While the video maintains a sense of quietude, it's apparent that the recorder is dedicated to documenting the unfolding scene. As the video unfolds, a figure comes into view from a few strides away. This figure is of considerable height, estimated to be between 10 and 12 feet tall. Its appearance is notably dark and covered in hair, bearing a striking resemblance to the legendary creature known as Bigfoot. The figure moves purposefully down the trail with an expressionless demeanor, seemingly unfazed by any events or surroundings. This enigmatic sighting raises intriguing questions. Is this indeed a genuine encounter with Bigfoot, a creature steeped in folklore and myth? Or could it possibly be a well-executed costume or mascot designed to mimic the iconic creatures? In this remarkable footage, a man is sitting beside a massive 500-pound ape, a sight that feels almost surreal. Just look at how close they are to each other, as though they're longtime friends sharing a quiet moment. The sheer size difference is mind-blowing. The ape, likely a gorilla, dwarfs the man in both height and bulk, exuding a raw strength that commands respect. What's striking is the calmness between them. The ape is seated right next to the man without any sign of tension, and the man himself seems relaxed, as though he's accustomed to this incredible proximity with such a powerful animal. And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I will see you in the next one.